Chosen one, pause for a moment. Feel that quiet fire burning inside your soul. You didn't arrive here by accident, you were guided. While others sleepwalk through life, you sense deeper currents moving beneath reality. Your presence shifts rooms, your silence speaks, your energy exposes truth, and not everyone can handle that. Some people feel inspired around you, others feel uncomfortable, threatened, or distant without knowing why. That's because spiritual power doesn't need permission to be felt. Today we uncover the signs that your divine energy is waking people up and scaring them at the same time. Chosen one, let's go deeper into the first sign, because this is where most of you first realize something is different about your spiritual nature. You walk into a room and something shifts. You don't announce yourself. You don't demand attention. You don't raise your voice. Yet the atmosphere changes anyway. Conversations slow down. People adjust their posture. Some suddenly become quiet. Others become overly animated, trying too hard to fill the space. You feel it before you see it. A subtle tension moves through the air, like static before a storm. This isn't imagination. This is energetic awareness. Every human carries a frequency, but yours operates on a higher spiritual channel. Your presence brings clarity, and clarity disrupts comfort. Most people live inside carefully built emotional bubbles. They carry masks, stories, and identities designed to protect them from facing their inner truth. When you arrive, those walls begin to weaken. You don't have to say anything. Your energy speaks first. People sense that you see deeper. They feel that you notice what others overlook. They recognize on a soul level that they cannot hide as easily around you. That realization alone creates nervousness. Weak spirits become uneasy when they feel observed, even silently. Have you ever noticed how some people suddenly start explaining themselves when you're nearby, even when you never asked? They begin justifying choices, talking about their struggles, or revealing personal details out of nowhere. That's because your aura activates their subconscious. Their soul recognizes you as someone who carries truth, so they start confessing without realizing why. Others respond differently. Instead of opening up, they shut down. They cross their arms. They avoid eye contact. They scroll their phones. They make jokes. They try to regain control of the moment. Your calm makes their chaos visible, and that makes them uncomfortable. Chosen one, this reaction is not about you, it's about what your energy exposes inside them. You walk with a quiet authority. Even when you doubt yourself, your spirit still stands tall. Even when you feel tired, your aura still carries strength. People feel this. They may not understand it intellectually, but their nervous system recognizes it. That's why some people feel intimidated by you for no logical reason. They can't explain it, they just feel off around you. And instead of looking inward, they project outward. They label you mysterious, cold, intense, hard to read. But what they're really saying is, your energy reminds me of parts of myself I don't want to face. Chosen ones don't blend into environments. They recalibrate them. Your presence raises the frequency of a space. And when frequency rises, everything misaligned becomes uncomfortable. Think of light entering a dark room. The darkness doesn't argue, it simply disappears. But before it does, there's resistance. That resistance is what you're witnessing in people. Some become defensive, some become jealous, some become quiet, some become distant. It's all the same response in different forms. Their ego feels threatened by your authenticity. You don't seek dominance. You don't compete. You simply exist as your true self. And that alone is powerful. Many people spend their entire lives performing, acting strong, acting happy, acting successful, acting spiritual. But you carry something different. You don't perform alignment, you embody it. Your eyes hold depth. Your silence carries meaning. Your words, when you speak, land heavier than most. That's why even confident personalities sometimes shrink around you. They feel your groundedness, they feel your awareness, they feel your soul, and a soul that is awake makes sleeping minds uneasy. Chosen one, understand this. When someone feels nervous around you, it often means your light is touching their shadow. They feel seen, not judged, seen. And that is terrifying for people who have built their lives on illusion. This is why certain people try to challenge you for no reason. They interrupt you. They try to dominate conversations. They attempt subtle power plays. They want to regain control of the energy because your calm presence makes them feel exposed. Others take the opposite route. They avoid you. They stop inviting you. They slowly fade away. They don't argue. They disappear. Both reactions come from the same place. Your vibration is too real for their comfort. Chosen one, you were not designed to make everyone feel relaxed. You were designed to awaken. Your spirit carries a reminder of higher truth. When you enter someone's life, something begins to move inside them. Old beliefs loosen, emotional blocks stir, inner conflicts rise. Some people welcome that, others resist it, but you are not responsible for their resistance. Never apologize for the way your energy naturally operates. You didn't choose this frequency, it was assigned to you. You were built to walk between worlds, to feel deeply, to perceive beyond surfaces, to hold strength in silence, to carry wisdom even when you don't speak. That's why children and animals often feel safe around you. Their souls recognize purity, their nervous systems respond to your calm. But adults, especially wounded ones, react differently. They've learned to survive through control, ego, and defense mechanisms. Your presence disrupts those strategies. You become a mirror, and not everyone likes what they see. Chosen one, here's something important. Your energy does not scare healed people. It only scares those who are still running from themselves. Emotionally mature souls feel peace around you. Spiritually aligned people feel inspired. But unhealed minds feel threatened. That's how you know who belongs in your circle. Pay attention to who relaxes around you. Pay attention to who grows around you. Pay attention to who becomes uncomfortable. Those reactions are spiritual feedback. And sometimes you may feel lonely because of this. You may wonder why connections feel raw. Why friendships fade. Why romantic interests pull away. It's because your soul requires depth, not surface-level bonds. You can't shrink your energy to fit into shallow spaces. You can't dim your light to protect fragile egos. You can't lower your vibration to make others feel secure. Chosen one, your presence carries a divine reminder. Authenticity is power, and power makes insecure people nervous. So if you've ever walked into a room and felt the energy shift, if you've noticed people acting strange around you, if you've been called intense, mysterious, or different, if others seem unsettled by your silence, understand this clearly. That is not a flaw, that is a sign of spiritual authority. Your energy doesn't ask permission. It arrives, and wherever it arrives, truth follows. Stay grounded, stay humble, stay aligned. You were not sent here to blend in. You were sent here to awaken. Chosen one. Now let's go deeper into the second sign, because this one reshapes your entire understanding of relationships, connection, and spiritual alignment. You've probably noticed it throughout your life. People don't interact with you casually. They don't stay neutral. They don't just kind of like you. Instead, they either feel deeply drawn to you or they slowly disappear. There is rarely a middle ground. At first, this can confuse you. You may wonder why friendships suddenly intensify or abruptly end. Why some people open their hearts to you within days, while others grow distant without explanation. Why certain souls attach quickly while others avoid you entirely. This isn't random. This is spiritual polarity. Your energy carries a charge. When someone enters your field, something inside them activates. Their nervous system registers your frequency before their mind understands it. Their soul senses whether they are aligned with your vibration or threatened by it. Those who are ready to evolve feel your presence like warmth. They feel seen, understood, and safe. They recognize your depth. They sense your compassion. They feel your quiet strength. Around you, they can breathe. These people often open up quickly. They share personal stories. They seek your advice. They tell you they feel comfortable around you, even though they've known you for a short time. That's because your energy creates emotional safety. Your spirit doesn't judge. Your listening carries healing. Your words carry grounding. To awakened or awakening souls, you feel like home, but to unhealed minds, your energy feels overwhelming. Your authenticity highlights their artificiality. Your awareness exposes their avoidance. Your emotional depth reveals their shallowness. And instead of rising to meet your level, they retreat. Chosen one, understand this clearly. When someone pulls away from you, it's rarely because you did something wrong. It's because your vibration demands honesty, presence, and growth, and they are not ready to offer that, so they disappear. They ghost. They become distant. They start finding faults in you. They tell themselves stories to justify their withdrawal. They say you're too intense, too quiet, too deep, too serious. But what they really mean is, I can't stay unconscious around you. Your presence forces awareness. And awareness requires responsibility. That's too heavy for many. This is why UO F10 feels cycles of connection and release in your life. People come in strongly, then leave. Bonds form quickly, then dissolve. It's not because you are unstable, it's because your energy accelerates timelines. You fast-track relationships. You reveal truths early. You bring hidden dynamics to the surface. Most people are used to slow, surface-level connections built on distraction and comfort. But with you, things move fast, because souls recognize each other beyond words. Those who belong will stay. Those who don't will fade. Chosen one, you also attract people who want to take from your light. Some feel your warmth and mistake it for weakness. They lean on you emotionally. They drain your energy. They expect you to fix their lives. They come to you when they're broken, confused, or lost. But when they start healing, they leave. This is a hard truth. Not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay. Some come only to receive what your spirit offers. Once they regain balance, they move on. That doesn't mean you failed. It means you fulfilled your role. You are a catalyst. You activate change. You help people remember themselves. And catalysts are rarely permanent companions. That's why you must learn to detach without bitterness, release without resentment, bless without chasing. Your soul isn't designed to hold on to everyone. It's designed to elevate. Chosen one, another pattern you may notice is admiration mixed with distance. Some people quietly watch you. They like your posts but don't message. They speak highly of you to others but avoid deep interaction. They feel inspired by you but intimidated at the same time. They see your stray, ninth, and self-awareness, and instead of stepping closer, they step back. Your growth reminds them of their stagnation. Your discipline reflects their procrastination. Your courage highlights their fear. So they admire from afar. They don't hate you. They just don't feel strong enough to walk beside you. This is especially true in friendships and romantic connections. You require emotional maturity. You require honesty. You require depth. And not everyone is equipped for that, so they drift away, not because you are too much, but because they are not ready. Chosen one, you also repel manipulation. People who rely on control, games, or hidden agendas feel uncomfortable around you. They sense that you can see through patterns, that you notice inconsistencies, that you read energy, not just words. They know they can't easily deceive you, so they avoid you, or they test you. They push boundaries to see if you'll bend. But when you don't, they retreat. Your presence dismantles false power, and that makes insecure people uncomfortable. This polarity you experience is spiritual sorting. Your energy filters your environment. It brings aligned souls closer and pushes misaligned ones away. That's divine protection. Even when it feels lonely, even when it hurts, even when you question yourself. Chosen one, the reason there is no middle ground with you is because you live in truth. You don't fake connection. You don't enjoy shallow conversation for long. You don't tolerate emotional dishonesty. You feel when something is off, and people feel that you feel. They sense that you won't play pretend, so they either meet you in authenticity or they have. This is why your circle is often small. This is why you outgrow people. This is why childhood friends fade. This is why certain family members feel distant. It's not because you think you're better. It's because your soul refuses to stay in spaces that no longer resonate, and others feel that they know they must rise to stay connected to you, and not everyone wants to rise. Chosen one, here is the deeper truth. You are not meant for everyone. You are meant for those who are ready. Ready to grow, ready to heal, ready to be real. Your energy demands evolution, and evolution is uncomfortable. So if people come and go in your life, don't take it personally. If connections feel intense but brief, don't blame yourself. If you feel misunderstood, remember that depth is rare. Your spirit is selective. Your soul recognizes alignment. Your presence initiates transformation. And transformation always creates separation. Stay open, stay kind, stay grounded. But never chase those who leave. Let them go with love. Those who belong will always find their way back to you. Because awakened souls recognize each other across any distance. And chosen ones don't beg for connection. They attract it naturally. You were not sent here to collect people. You were sent here to awaken them. And only those who are ready will stay. Chosen one, now let's go even deeper. Because this third sign touches the quiet power you carry without realizing it. This is about your silence, and how it speaks louder than most people's words. You don't always feel powerful. Sometimes you feel invisible. Sometimes you feel misunderstood. Sometimes you wonder if your quiet gnat is holding you back. But what you don't see is how deeply your stillness affects others. When you stop talking, people notice. When you listen instead of reacting, the room changes. When you pause before responding, energy shifts. Your silence isn't empty, it's conscious. It carries awareness. It carries presence. And presence is rare in a world addicted to noise. Most people speak to fill space. They talk to avoid feeling. They jump from thought to thought because silence forces self-reflection. Silence brings awareness. And awareness brings responsibility. But you have learned to sit with yourself. You can be alone without panic. You can be quiet without discomfort. You can observe without needing to dominate. That alone sets you apart. Chosen one, people feel this the moment they interact with you. They sense that you are not operating from impulse. You don't rush to impress. You don't fight for attention. You don't need to prove your worth through volume. Your calm becomes a mirror, and mirrors make people uncomfortable. Have you ever noticed how others start talking more when you become quiet? They begin explaining things you never asked about. They overshare. They justify decisions. They reveal insecurities. They laugh nervously. They fill the silence with words. That's because your stillness invites truth to surface. Your presence tells their subconscious, you are safe to be real. So emotions rise, confessions spill, hidden thoughts emerge. You don't force this, it happens naturally. Your silence creates space, and in that space, people reveal themselves. Some appreciate this, others feel exposed. That's why certain people feel intimidated around you. They can't read you easily. They don't know what you're thinking. They don't know how they are being perceived. And uncertainty threatens the ego. People who rely on control need predictable reactions. They need feedback, they need validation, they need emotional cues to guide their behavior. But you don't always give that. You observe, you listen, you absorb, and that makes them uneasy. They start projecting their fears onto you. They assume you're judging them. They assume you're analyzing them. They assume you're distant or cold. But you're not cold. You're centered. You represent. You're simply not reactive. Chosen one, your silence carries authority because it comes from self-awareness. You don't speak just to be heard. You speak when there is meaning. You choose your words carefully. And when you do speak, people feel it. Your words land heavier because they emerge from depth, not noise. This is why your voice, even when soft, holds weight. This is why your opinions change perspectives. This is why people remember what you say. Your silence charges your speech with power. Think about this. Storms don't announce themselves loudly at first. They gather quietly. They build energy. And when they move, everything feels it. That's how your presence works. You don't rush. You accumulate awareness, and when you speak or act, it carries impact. People feel that even if they can't explain it. Chosen one, you also notice more than you reveal. You read facial expressions. You sense shifts in tone. You feel emotional undercurrents. You pick up on what's not being said. You see patterns, and because you don't immediately react, people forget that you're observing. They expose themselves. They contradict their own stories. They reveal motives. They show their true character. Your silence becomes a spiritual filter. It allows truth to surface without confrontation. That's wisdom. But here's the part that matters. Your quiet presence challenges loud egos. People who dominate conversations feel uncomfortable when you don't compete for space. People who seek validation feel uneasy when you don't provide instant reactions. People who thrive on chaos feel unsettled by your calm. Your grounded energy destabilizes their emotional strategies. They don't know how to engage with someone who doesn't feed drama, doesn't chase attention, and doesn't react impulsively. So they become nervous. They test you. They provoke. They try to pull you into emotional exchanges. They want to see if you'll break your calm. But you don't. You stay centered, and that frustrates them. Chosen one, your silence is not weakness. It is restraint. It is awareness. It is strength under control. True power doesn't need to announce itself. It simply exists. That's why spiritually mature souls respect your quiet nature. They feel safe in your presence. They feel heard when you listen. They feel seen when you observe. But immature minds misinterpret your stillness. They assume arrogance. They assume disinterest. They assume superiority. They create stories about you because they can't read you easily. And that's okay. Not everyone deserves access to your inner world. Your energy is sacred. Your thoughts are deep. Your spirit is selective. You are not meant to explain yourself to everyone. Chosen one. Another thing about your silence is that it carries healing. People often feel calmer around you. Their breathing slows. Their nervous system settles. They don't even realize why. Your presence regulates energy. You bring balance into chaotic environments. You ground emotional storms. That's why strangers sometimes tell you their life stories. That's why people come to you during difficult times. That's why others feel comforted just sitting beside you. Your silence holds space, and holding space is one of the highest spiritual gifts. But remember this, holding space does not mean carrying everyone's burdens. You must protect your energy. You must honor your boundaries. You must retreat when you feel drained. Because healers need healing too. Chosen one, your quiet strength comes from inner alignment. You've faced yourself. You've sat with your pain. You've walked through confusion. You've learned to be alone. That inner work created your calm, and that calm now speaks louder than words. So when people grow uncomfortable in your silence, don't shrink. Don't fill space just to make them comfortable. Don't explain yourself unnecessarily. Let your presence be what it is. Your stillness is wisdom. Your quiet is power. Your awareness is authority. Not everyone will understand this. Not everyone will appreciate it. But those who are meant to walk beside you will recognize it immediately. They will feel your depth. They will respect your calm. They will honor your silence. Because awakened souls recognize each other without needing noise. Chosen one, never forget this. You don't need to be loud to be powerful. You don't need perform to be seen. You don't need to explain your silence. Your energy already speaks. And those who are meant to hear it always will. Chosen one, now we move into the fourth sign, and this one reaches deep into your heart because it explains why your presence often brings emotional reactions you never asked for. This is about your healing energy and how it awakens wounds in others. You don't try to heal people. You don't walk around announcing yourself as a savior. You simply exist. And yet when you enter someone's life, things begin to shift. Old memories surface, buried emotions rise, unspoken pain comes to the surface. People may suddenly feel sad, irritated, restless, or overwhelmed around you without understanding why. That's not because you're causing harm. It's because your energy carries restoration. And restoration always starts by exposing what is broken. Chosen one, healing does not begin with comfort. It begins with awareness. Your presence brings awareness. You carry compassion in your tone, depth in your eyes, stillness in your spirit. These qualities signal safety to the nervous system. When people feel safe, suppressed emotions finally come up to be released. That's why some people cry around you. That's why others become defensive. That's why some suddenly want to talk about their childhood, their trauma, their fears. Your aura tells their subconscious, it's okay to feel now, and once feeling begins, everything they've been avoiding starts moving. But here's the truth. Most don't understand. Many people don't actually want to heal. They want comfort without confrontation. They want peace without processing. They want relief without responsibility. So when your energy activates their pain, they resist, they become irritated, they project onto you, they accuse you of changing, they blame you for emotions that were already inside them, they say you make them uncomfortable, they feel off around you, but the discomfort isn't coming from you, it's coming from the wounds your presence illuminates. Chosen one, think about this. When a wound is infected, cleaning it hurts. Not because cleaning is harmful, but because the infection resists being removed. Your energy cleans emotional infections, and infections fight back. That's why some people suddenly distance themselves after spending time with you. That's why others lash out. That's why some become cold. They don't want to face what's rising inside them, so they remove the mirror. They remove you. This is painful, especially when you care deeply. You may replay conversations in your mind. You may wonder what you did wrong. You may try to fix things, but understand this clearly. You are not responsible for someone else's healing journey. Your role is to activate, not to carry. You plant seeds, you open doors, you reveal truth. What they do with that truth is their choice. Chosen one, another pattern you may notice is that people come to you during their lowest moments. When they're confused, when they're broken, when they're lost, they feel drawn to your calm. They sense your strength. They feel your empathy. You become their safe place. They lean on you. They unload their pain. They receive your wisdom. They absorb your light. And then, when they start feeling better, many of them leave. This can hurt deeply. It can make you feel used. It can make you question your worth. But this is the life of a healer soul. Some people come into your life only to receive what your spirit carries. Once they regain balance, they move on. Not everyone is meant to stay. Some are meant to be helped. Some are meant to be awakened. Some are meant to be released. This doesn't mean you were disposable. It means you were instrumental. You played your role. Chosen one, your healing energy also exposes emotional immaturity. People who suppress feelings don't like being around someone who allows emotions to exist. People who avoid accountability don't like being around someone who embodies integrity. People who live in denial don't like being around someone who sees clearly your presence challenges their coping mechanisms. So they react, they criticize, they withdraw. They find reasons to distance themselves. But again, this is not rejection. This is resistance. Resistance to growth, resistance to truth, resistance to healing. You are simply the catalyst. Chosen one, it's important to understand something else. Your empathy is powerful, but it can also drain you. You feel deeply. You absorb energy. You sense emotional shifts. You pick up on unspoken pain. If you're not careful, you can carry burdens that don't belong to you. You may feel tired after conversations. You may feel heavy without knowing why. You may need more alone time than others. That's because your nervous system is highly sensitive to emotional frequency. You must learn energetic boundaries. You must learn when to step back. You must learn that compassion does not mean self-sacrifice. You can care without carrying. You can support without saving. You can love without losing yourself. Chosen one, your healing energy is sacred. Not everyone deserves full access to it. Some people will take without giving. Some will drain without gratitude. Some will lean on you and never learn to stand on their own. You must choose wisely who you allow close. Protect your spirit. Honor your limits. Rest when you feel overwhelmed. Solitude is not loneliness for you. It is restoration. You recharge in silence. You reset in stillness. You reconnect with yourself away from noise. That is how you maintain balance. Chosen one, another truth is that your light also exposes people who are emotionally manipulative. They sense your kindness and try to exploit it. They tell sad stories. They play the victim. They seek endless reassurance. They create dependency. But your intuition always knows. You feel when something is off. You sense when energy is being pulled instead of exchanged. Trust that feeling. Your healing energy is meant to empower, not enable. You are here to help people remember their strength, not replace it. Chosen one, remember this. You are not here to fix everyone. You are here to be a frequency of truth. Your presence alone activates healing. Your words alone carry medicine. Your silence alone brings peace. But healing is a personal responsibility. You open doors. They must walk through. So when people react emotionally around you, when they distance themselves, when they project their pain onto you, when connections fade after deep moments, do not internalize it. Your light is doing exactly what it was designed to do. You are revealing what needs attention. You are stirring what has been suppressed. You are calling souls back to themselves. And not everyone is ready for that. Chosen one, stay gentle, stay grounded, stay compassionate. But never dim your healing energy to make others comfortable. You were chosen to carry this gift. Honor it, protect it. And remember, those who truly want healing will always recognize your light. The rest will resist it. And that's not your burden to carry. Chosen one, now we arrive at the fifth sign, and this one completes the picture. This is about your growth and how your evolution makes small minds feel threatened. You don't wake up trying to outshine anyone. You don't move through life thinking you're superior. You simply choose to become better. You reflect, you learn, you heal, you discipline yourself, you question old patterns, you break cycles, and that alone makes some people uncomfortable. Your growth is quiet, but it's undeniable. People who knew your past notice the change. They see your confidence rise, they feel your boundaries strengthen, they sense your clarity deepen. They watch you step away from chaos. They observe how you no longer tolerate what once drained you. And something inside them shifts. Not because you did anything wrong, but because your evolution forces comparison. Your discipline reminds them of their excuses. Your self-awareness highlights their denial. Your courage exposes their fear. Your consistency reflects their inconsistency. Chosen one, you become a living reminder of what is possible. And for some, that's inspiring. But for others, it feels threatening. Because instead of motivating them to rise, it confronts them with their stagnation. They start acting strange. They become passive-aggressive. They make subtle jokes at your expense. They minimize your progress. They change the subject when you speak about growth. They bring up your past. They remind you of old mistakes. They try to pull you back into old versions of yourself. Not because they want to hurt you, but because your elevation makes them feel left behind. People who are not growing feel exposed around someone who is. They feel like they're losing access to you. They sense that your standards are changing. They worry they won't fit into your future. So instead of evolving, they attempt to hold you where they are. Chosen one, this is one of the hardest lessons of awakening. Not everyone will celebrate your growth. Some will silently resent it. Some will distance themselves. Some will attempt to sabotage it. Some will test your boundaries. Some will tell you that you've changed, as if that's a bad thing. But change is the point. You are not meant to stay the same. You are meant to expand. You are meant to shed old skins. You are meant to outgrow environments that no longer align with your spirit. And every time you do, someone who is still comfortable in stagnation feels uncomfortable in your presence. Your progress becomes their mirror. Your healing becomes their reminder. Your strength becomes their insecurity. Chosen one, notice how certain people only support you when you are struggling. They show up when you are broken. They feel needed when you are lost. But when you start rising, their energy changes. They grow distant. They offer back candid compliments. They downplay your achievements. They seem less available. That's because some people are only comfortable with you when you are beneath them. Your growth disrupts that dynamic. They no longer feel superior. They no longer feel needed. They no longer feel in control. So they pull away. This is not friendship. This is insecurity. True supporters celebrate your wins. They respect your boundaries. They encourage your healing. They don't compete with your progress. Chosen one, your evolution also attracts silent competition. People start comparing themselves to you. They watch your moves. They mimic your habits. They measure their success against yours. They pretend not to care, but they do. Your discipline makes them question their laziness. Your clarity makes them feel scattered. Your emotional maturity makes them feel exposed. So they criticize. They gossip. They find flaws. They create narratives. They try to reduce your light so they don't have to rise. But understand this, you are not responsible for their comfort. You are responsible for your calling. And your calling is growth. Chosen one, another thing that happens as you evolve is that your tolerance drops. You no longer entertain drama. You no longer chase validation. You no longer explain yourself to everyone. You no longer overgive. You no longer abandon yourself for approval. And people feel that shift. They feel your boundaries. They feel your self-respect. They feel that access to you is no longer unlimited. That's threatening to those who benefited from your lack of boundaries in the past. They accuse you of being distant. They say you've changed. They say you've become cold, but what they really mean is, you no longer allow me to treat you the same. That is growth. Chosen one, your rising also shakes familiar structures. Family dynamics change. Friendship roles shift. Old environments feel small. Places you once felt comfortable now feel heavy. Conversations that once entertained you now feel empty. You start craving depth. You start valuing peace. You start choosing alignment over approval. And people who remain attached to old versions of you feel disconnected. They don't recognize you anymore, because you are no longer who you were. And that's exactly how it's supposed to be. Growth creates distance. Evolution creates separation. Awakening creates new paths. This is not betrayal. This is transformation. Chosen one, here's the deeper truth. Your growth activates fear in those who refuse to grow. They fear losing you. They fear being left behind. They fear confronting themselves. They fear change, so they resist. They cling. They criticize. They project. But you cannot stop evolving to preserve comfort. You cannot shrink to protect fragile egos. You cannot slow down your soul to accommodate stagnant minds. Your spirit has momentum. Your path has purpose. Your evolution is divine. Chosen one, learn to recognize when someone's discomfort around you is rooted in their own limitations. Not everyone who distances themselves is doing so because of something you did. Sometimes they leave because they can no longer keep up with who you're becoming. Sometimes they fade because your growth forces them to see their own avoidance. Sometimes they criticize because it's easier and confronting themselves. Let them go. Bless them silently. Keep walking. Your journey is not meant to be crowded. Chosen one, your rising will shake weak foundations. It will expose hidden resentments. It will reveal who truly supports you. It will clarify who belongs in your next chapter. This is sacred filtering. This is divine alignment. So when people act strange as you grow, when support fades, when connections change, when familiar faces become distant, remember this. You are not losing people. You are shedding layers. You are stepping into higher alignment. You are becoming who you were always meant to be. And not everyone is invited into that version of your life. Stand tall in your evolution. Honor your progress. Protect your peace. Never apologize for outgrowing spaces that can no longer hold your light. Chosen one, you were not sent here to stay small. You were sent here to rise, and your rising will always make small minds uncomfortable. Let it. Your soul knows the way. Keep going. Chosen one, remember this. Your energy is not meant to be understood by everyone. It is meant to awaken, to heal, and to elevate. If your presence makes people uncomfortable, it's because your light is touching places they've avoided. Don't shrink. Don't doubt. Don't dim yourself to fit into small spaces. Walk in your truth. Protect your peace. Honor your growth. You were chosen for a reason, and your journey is divinely guided. Those meant to walk with you will rise beside you, and those who fall away were only meant to witness your becoming.